Hello, Captains. This is Kent again, and welcome to the Flight Show. Well, following along in my quest to bring some more attention in my flights to the Dash-8, we will be doing a flight with Croatia Airlines, and we will be going from Ionis Kapat. I practiced this. Leonis Kapatotralis, Greece. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And we will be flying to Tivat in Siberia, Montenegro. So, closest airline that I could come to that I had in my possession that would probably fly this route, though I'm not sure if it does. So, let us go ahead and get to the business at hand. Oops, I wanted to bring these two up. Okay, so to show you, first off, this plane takes a little bit to prepare. This is not a tutorial, but I am going to go through pretty much everything that I know how to do. So if you look here, we're saying that we're flying with a PAX of 65. So we have a total of 65 people that need to be on board. Right now we have 33. So why don't we go ahead and do this? Let's go ahead and make this 14. And let's go ahead and make this 24. Now we're at 63, so we only need 2 more people. And that, all we have to do is add 2 to this, so that'll make it 17. Alright, so as you can see, we now have our packs. Now our cargo on board is 3,132 pounds. And learning from the experience of one of the developers of the Majestic had let me know that the last time I had done a flight, it was a bit too heavy. And so, instead of loading it, basically in its rear compartment, we can only have 3,619 pounds. So, if we look here at our max, we've got 3,619. So that's okay. So that's telling us what our max is. So in our aft, let's go ahead and put 2,000. Well, let's round it out to 2,000. Just got to do a little math here. Okay, so now if we've got 2,000, and our total weight is 3,100. So let's just see if we can go to, we'll put 900, we'll put the max up front. So 908, right? So with that being said, we can add 2,000, so that would be 2,908. We can go ahead and add 200. Yeah, we can add roughly 200. So let's add 200 here. Alright. So if the max in the rear is this is going to get us pretty close to what we have here. And if you really want me to just go ahead and be exact, because my head math is deplorable, we'll just say here, alright, so 3,132, and we'll say minus, what is that, 908. So that just means we have to put 2,224 in the aft, which is well below our maximum for the rear. So doing the darn thing, excellent. So we now have our cargo, we have our passengers. Let's go ahead and calculate. Okay, excellent. Anything that I'm missing here? No, so that should be in the plane. Calculate. We've got that. Bag, load. Yeah, I think we've got everything we need there. So let's go ahead and send that to the flight sim. We have done that. Now, our fuel should be, that is released, if you consider all of our, hold times extra, the taxi, should be 5,550. So that's our trip fuel, which is the total amount that we're putting on board. So that should be 5,550. Calculate. Okay, everything's within our center of gravity, so we're good there. Send to flight sim. Alright, so now the plane is loaded with the proper flight fuel. We can, I'm going to just minimize it. I'm not going to totally take it away. And we can unpause, because that's what it does once you send it. Okay, so now we can start to prepare our aircraft. You will notice that we've got our our APU going, not APU rather, but the external ground power units, or GPU, going. So let's get this thing and make it come alive. So if I go down my checklists, the flight log, let's say that we checked it, circuit breakers, let's say it's checked, our landing gear is down, radar should be off, and the battery, master, main, auxiliary, standby. So we will go master, main, auxiliary, and standby. And we're going to move down to external power since it is running. Main bus tie, that's on. Open engine intakes bypass doors. They are closed, so let's open them. Position lights. Let's get, let's see here. There we go. So our position lights, we'll put them on. Our flight deck displays should be coming on in just a second. Pumps off. Emergency brake as required. External power unit is on. The pull release close valve. So we gotta. This trips a few people up when they are trying to do a cold and dark start because their landing gear won't come up. But you gotta come over here, switch on, and then turn on. Boom. That. So our doors pull release closed. Okay. Check FMS. So we got to turn all this on. So boom, turn that on. Boom, turn that on. Come on over here, turn you on, turn you on. Everybody's good to go. All right. And we have initialized. Now we have a bunch of tests. I'm not going to go through all of these tests, but let's just say that we tested, because some of the tests I'm not sure of. So let's just say tested. They're all tested. All right. So checks flow, gear pins have been stowed. Pre-flight checks we haven't done yet. External powered unit, yeah, that's going. Circuit breakers, escape hatch, nose steering should be off. Yep, it's off. Guide control, fuel quantity has been checked. Emergency brake is on. Power levers are disconnect over here. Yep. Okay, fuel off, condition levers. Okay, condition levers to arm. Now, I have a word from Majestic about that, so I'm going to leave that right there for now. Oh, that's emergency lights. I was reading the wrong line because I was thinking I needed to do it. Now we're good. All right, so emergency lights are armed. We're going to go ahead and turn on our fasten seatbelt lights, and the departure briefing has not been completed. I'm talking to myself. Complete. All right, start. Did that. Now what we need to do is go ahead and get our FMS together. So we'll get these accepted, and we're just going between, we're flying from LGKR we'll accept, and we're flying to Tivat, so I should have left that alone. LYTV. Enter. We're going to accept. And to clear out any waypoints in our display, we're going to just hit 1. It should clear it out. Don't ask me if it does or not. We'll see. Alright, so now we need to put in our waypoints. So what we will do, first, if we go here and go to menu, we can go to our departure. And our departure airport, as we noticed, is LGKR. So we can go ahead, put that in, accept. We will be taking off from runway 34, so number 2. And our SID is going to be Necro. Do I see Necro? There we, Necro, where are you? What is it? Yeah, oh, it's Necro 2F, which is right there, number 10. Enter. Alright. Now we go to our flight plan. We got all this good stuff. So if we go to flight plan, no link, let's just start right there and delete this. Then we will start. So Necro is our last one, so we're going to go from Necro into our... I'm going to try to do this very quickly. It's not a lot, so I don't want to waste time. So we'll go into our airway. So we will say list airway. And the airway, it lists the only ones you can get into. So it's M127, so that's number 1. Enter. And then you exit the airway at over, which is 2. Enter. Then our next waypoint from over, we will enter our next airway, so we would say list. This is a little intimidating when you first learn how to do it, but it becomes actually pretty intuitive. It's not bad. L611, so that's number 1. Put this in, boom. Now you'll exit your airway at Rodon. Where are you? I have a bad way of looking at stuff right in my face and I miss it. There we go. Alright, and then we go into our last airway, so we go list. And we'll say airway, and we will enter L187 2, and then we exit at Lasty, which is number 1. Excellent. Now we would enter our star, and our star is going to be, so we go over to menu, we say arrival, and we're arriving at LYTV, enter, accept. So now we'll say we're landing on runway 32, which is number 2. And our star will be Lace 1RC, which is the first one. And our approach will be a lock 132. Is that the one I chose? I'm almost certain. I'm looking on my electronic flight bag. In fact, it is Y, lock Y. Alright, so we're lock Y. Where did it go? Yes, so number 1. Enter. Alright, so now to our flight plan. We should have everything with no discontinuities. We have 1 discontinuity, so let's just go ahead and delete that. And everything else should be Gucci. Okay, so this is after, like if you were going to go into your missed approach. So we'll go ahead and leave that. That should be fine. Yes, we're good. All right. Now that we have this, so we have our navs all prepared. That's good. Now, the next thing I want to do is... I forgot. What do I want to do? Go to my checklists. Alright, so let's just say that our flight attendants have... well, actually, we don't have to pretend this. We could just say... bring our GSX and request boarding. That's deboarding. We want to board. Boom. And we'll just go Aegina Airlines. So what we're going to need to do I just want my FMS. Okay, we'll just have to use the big one here. Let's go to menu. No, data. Services. Exits. Forward. Packs. And baggage. Alright, we can close this. Now, technically, we should have done this first because they're bringing out the pilots. And clearly, I'm already in the cockpit. But I'm not tripping. We'll just run with it. There we go. There's our pilot bus. So they should be coming out. Let's just say these are a couple of pilots that are taking a jump seat and they're getting to another airport. We'll leave it at that. It's the land of make-believe. We can say what we want. Okay. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and put our nav source to FMS1. And our cruising altitude is going to be, what is it? 18,000 feet? Yes. So let's go ahead and get our altitude to 18,000. We're not using air traffic control, so we're just going to go directly to our cruising altitude. Alright, that's set in. So all we got to do is board. So I will bring you back as soon as we get our passengers coming in. So as you can see, we have our passengers now loading on the airplane. And let's have another view. So as they're all getting on, taking their seats, we are almost ready to go. All right. As you know, we have one seat short of a full house, so this will just take a minute. We're at 60, 62, 66, 67, 70, 76. Ah, so close. We still got to bring a bus. Don't you hate it when that happens? Okay. Oh, what? 84! That was everybody. Okay, they were just counting the numbers when they finally got seated. Great. I was hoping. Jeez. Alright, so now that we are loaded, we can go ahead and close the front door. Let's see. Oh, it closed automatically. Darn it. Alright. Close the forward door. Baggage door is already closed. Excellent. So now it's time to get off of the GPU and go to the APU. So let's go right up here. Give power to the APU. Turn the generator on. First we need to start. Duh. Generator is now on. And as you can hear that whine, the APU is starting up. So we have enough battery power. I'm going to go ahead and turn off. Okay, so our APU is running. Excellent. And we can tell the GPU that can go away now. Oh, and by the way, we can, since we've loaded our fuel, we can go ahead. We haven't loaded our fuel, but we have done our flight plan, so we can cross-feed that. So now let's go on to our fuel and get that taken care of, and then we will be on our way. So we have our packs, of which we have, what, 65 people on board? Well, we have 65. I know that number said 85. They don't coincide for whatever reason. And now our cargo, which we've already done, is 3,132. That gives us our zero fuel weight. Our total fuel on board is 5,550. Our alternate fuel is 404 pounds. Our hold is 981. That's for 30 minutes, by the way. Our extra is the same, 981. All right, we are taken care of. So now we can just peer over here, and we can go ahead and copy our fuel over. And we have our flight plan. All right, so let us say that we are ready to do the darn thing. What? You're just getting here? Ah, embarrassing. All right, fine. Data, services, exits. Load the baggage, so that we don't have to load through a what do you call it, closed door. I thought they were doing that while I was doing everything else. Okay, no problem. You done? Great. Close. So what you gonna do? Oh wow, they driving that thing like they are drunk. Alright, let's just say that he's getting out of here. We got things to do. So, let's see. We're not doing a pushback. We're going to be doing engine start with no pushback. And we can start by hand signals. I got to learn my hand signals, so might as well. I could do this with voice, but it's simpler if I just do this for now. Okay, he's getting out of here. So get ready. So the first thing we need to do, we don't have our chocks out, so we can say start engine 1. Alright, starting 1. Come back down. You, menu, move over here. You, move down. Alright, we've got that in place. 2, start. That should be coming along. Okay, so now that that's started, we can go ahead and move you to full. Now we'll bring you . 1, start. Actually, I did that in the wrong order. Still learning this, my bad. Now that's full, so we can go ahead and bring this up. I shouldn't have been there, but my bad. We'll just have to roll with that. Okay, so now that we're looking at them, we can say ready to taxi. Now you watch yourself. I don't want you getting hit by a propeller blade. And by the way, and yaw dampers. Excellent. All right. Let's say we have been given clearance for taxi. Turn on the nose gear. And away we go. Okay, so now we're going to go here. Just so that we can get to where we're going to enter the runway. Alright. Because we are taking off on runway 34. Alright, so let's apply flaps. Let's see. I've got some overly sensitive flap levers, so please don't mind that. I may leave this in, I may edit it down. But I'm anticipating this flight might be just under an hour, maybe an hour. Some people like this, and I guess if you didn't want all that detail, you would just fast forward. So, alright, slow it down, slow it down. Down my brakes here. Alright, so when we get to this end of the runway, we have a place where we can actually turn the aircraft around. So we will do that very gently. Okay. Alright, easy, there we go, turning around, turning around, there we go. go. Okay. Great. All right, so we will set our vertical speed for 500 feet per minute until we get to an ascending altitude of 180 knots. Then we'll hit our IAS such that we keep the attitude such that we are climbing at 180 knots from that point forward. And we will also engage altitude select once we're off the ground. We will hit our nav button, because we are using LNAV, and we'll hit our VNAV later. Alright, we are going to say that we have been given clearance. Our control levers are in position. Landing lights on. Takeoff. Alright, now I'm also using RealTurbulence, so if there is any turbulence off of the coastline, this plane will feel it, but that's fine. Now I realize I did not set my V-speeds, should have done that. I didn't look in the book to see what they should be based on the weight, so I'm ballparking it. But okay, I hear that we're kind of off the ground, so we're going to rotate here. Gear up. Don't hate me for that. Okay, so we'll lower our nose so that we're climbing at 500 feet per minute. And then we want to hit the IAS at 180. Okay, so got the IAS. And we will engage our autopilot now. Excellent. Flaps up. Absolutely stunning scenery. Now, looking at this beautiful scenery, it does motivate me to say a few words about Flight Simulator 2020, asked by one of my followers about hearing my views on it, and I think I really should do a video dedicated to it. But just, you know, right off the back with an opportunity to talk while we are ascending and looking at what I find to be beautiful scenery. Well, this scenery is beautiful for this generation of scenery. Looking at what Microsoft is going to be doing, it's, you know, for lack of a better term, kind of incredible. And the way they're doing it is you're going to have an internet connection to fly the simulator, because what they are going to do is download the renderings of your scenery as you need it, and once you don't need it, it's going to dump it. So you're continually getting data that's off of their server. And to be honest, I can see why that's a necessity considering how much memory scenery takes up. But if you were going to be a VFR flyer and only fly in a specific region, you could actually download that particular region, so long as you're not going to fly out of it. But I say all of this to say, it looks promising, but I will be honest with you. I probably won't jump on the bandwagon immediately. I mean, I'm going to probably buy it the day it's released, so I can create videos and give you some idea and content so that you can make an informed purchase. But the fact of the matter is, I have decades of money invested in Prepared and Flight Simulator 10. So, it's you're just not going to dump all that money you've invested into just to move over to another system. So that being said, I don't know if I'm going to jump in all in at once. We'll just have to take a wait and see how it turns out. That would be my take on things. Alright, so now we're doing our procedure turn to get into our waypoints, and then we will soon be on our merry little way. Now, what we will expect is to be above 11,000 feet once we get to Nikiro, and we're well on that way to that, so we're good there. And we're holding 200, we're about 200 knots as we ascend, that's fine. And again, that is just beautiful. Absolutely stunning as we are leaving Greece. That was Corfu, which is the scenery I had for Fly Tampa. I don't know how much of the region Corfu provides, but if it's actually doing this region with the trees and the with the land class, then all the better. It looks absolutely beautiful. But this actually could also just be what you have from the land class of Orbx Europe. I don't know. I really need to look. But it's still absolutely stunning. And with our active sky weather, and I'm rocking about 30 frames per second right now, I'm a happy man. Alright, we are following our course, and we are in ascent. We're now at 11,000 feet. So what I could have done is turned off and I should have turned off the APU, so my apologies there. Can go ahead, close that. Alright, we are on course and ascending for 18,000 feet. And there is our airport right down there at Corfu. Now our flight is not really long. As a matter of fact, our air distance is going to be 211 miles, which is why we're only going to 18,000 feet. So this shouldn't be too bad. Alright. I will bring you back once we are at top of climb. Okay, so we are about 500 feet away from our top of climb. So what we will do is once we get to our cruising altitude is we'll bring our control levers back. So let me hold on a second. What did I not hit? Here we go. Where is it? Oh, by the way, we're going to put this on both. We're good there. And our radar now is on. Oh, we did not hit altitude select. So embarrassed. Alright, so what we will do is take our vertical airspeed. We work through our mistakes. And we will bring it down. And we don't need to bring it down much. We'll just bring it to 1,500 feet. As I said, I'm refamiliarizing myself with the aircraft, so gotta forgive me. But we're gonna pull back on the throttles because now, as you can see, we're accelerating crazily. and we should level out exactly at 18,000 feet, so that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, we'll turn in our northerly direction. Alright, we got our warning that we're within 1,000 of 18,000 feet. Now I'm going to bring the throttles back because we're going to level out. Alright. Should be leveling out here. Excellent. Give it a little more throttle. See if we can pull this at 280 knots. Alright, we have achieved our cruising altitude and we are turning to course. Let me go ahead and bring around my heading. There we go. Give a little bit more throttle so I can bring it up to 280, and this is our cruising speed and cruising altitude. And we're going to cool it off. You know what? I'm used to the Fahrenheit, so I'm assuming that that's good enough. I don't know. Alright. That's what we wanted. TCAS. Alright. Alright, we are doing the darn thing, so we can go ahead and bring our control levers back. Get back up there. Okay, I will bring you back a little bit later, but let me, before I go, give you a little bit of the beautiful visuals as we are flying out of Greece. Okay, so we are here just about to approach top of descent, as you can see. And so what I'm going to do is change our range just a little bit. There we go. And I gather you can hear the thunder in the background. We had a little bit of a thunderstorm near us, and it was shaking us around just before I restarted the camera. So, whew. Okay, RealTurbulence, do your thing. But okay. Okay, so vert alert. You can see that our altitude bar is coming down. So we should engage in our descent at this moment. So we're going to, bring our control levers back up to full. And we're going to come back on the throttle a bit since we are descending. see, a little bit more. There we go. Whoop. Weather jump. All right, we are happily now descending into Tivat. So this should turn out well. Now the interesting thing about our approach to Tivat is that we're going to have to come between two large hills. I don't know if I want to call them large hills or mountains. I know one's a mountain on one side. I don't know what's the minimum height that one considers something a mountain. But whatever it is, two big elevation peaks we're going to have to fly in between and then turn onto our final manually. So the localizer will take us in between the two elevations, and then it is on us to get us on our final. So this should be exciting. First time I've done that in this plane, and as a matter of fact, it's the first time I've done it when I bought the new scenery for this airport. And the creators of this particular scenery I'll leave in the comments section. So I believe what we are going to do is we're going to land with flaps 15. And so I will bring you back when we are closer to the final. Okay, so we're a little ways out, but I wanted you to see. Sorry. Here we go. We have our re-ref speeds. I looked them up in our chart, and for our 52,000 pounds that we're landing at, we would have it assigned at flaps 15 a speed, a V-ref of 126. So our V approach and our V ref are 126. So should be looking good. Alright, so I could give it a little bit more throttle. I want to keep it above 200 as we are approaching. So I'm going to see if we can have it here at 210. 210 or so. That's good. And we are descending nicely. Beautiful scenery. And I've already turned on the landing lights since we're below 10,000 feet. So you will be seeing us shooting this gap momentarily. Change the range one more time. Now in my VFR I can go ahead and put on our localizer. We can change this. Our localizer should be 111. So let's see. Should be 111. 30. Yep. Excellent. So we have 111.30. And what we will do for our heading. Now there's a way to do this without having to come out of VNAV, but be it that I'm not sure what it is, I'm going to go ahead and just do my alternate kind of down and dirty way of doing this. So we get our heading very quickly, and then we say follow heading, so we don't change our course. Then we will use this time we go down to here and put it on, oh sorry, we put our nav source on VOR and we change our course to 336. Great. Now we'll put it back on nav. Put it back on our nav 1 source, and then put it back on nav. So we shouldn't have deviated from our course. Now there's a way you should be able to switch over so that you can change your VOR without affecting your course change, but I forgot what it was. Now, as you can see, we are now turning onto our path that will have us shoot the gap between the elevations. And we are about to hit 3,000 feet. This is getting exciting. Alright, so now we're going to change our altitude to 2,600 feet, which would be at our next waypoint. And we are now going to take our vertical speed, and we'll just continue at this rate. And I'll say altitude select at 2,600 feet. Alright, now we are going to lower our speed, gear down. Should be seeing the runway very soon. We'll turn off the autopilot. And flaps 15. Alright, we shall start our descent now. We can bring our throttles back. So you can see the airport ahead of us. And we will just keep this heading until we reach the VOR. So now we will change our nav source to nav 1.
2,500.
What's that? Get over here. Thank you. Okay. Nice steady descent. Bring back our throttles a little bit more. And as you can see, we are right in between the mountains. Now we should be coming near 1,140 feet. All right. Looking good. So now we just hold this heading until we are lined up with our runway.
1,000.
Our descent looks good. Let's get a little look. Oh yeah. Loving it. Now I have my gauges below the screen, so you won't see them for a moment, but this gives me depth perception as we approach our runway. Alright, we need to give it a little bit more throttle because we're a little low, but we could give some throttle to compensate for that. We should see that light come back on momentarily once we get our elevation together. Continue. Alright. Almost. Alright. 100. Beautiful. Alright. Minimums. Continue. We have got this. 100. Alright. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to come from the end of the runway so that we can easily taxi into our position at our gate. And what we will do is we will say that we are going to come into gate 5. Flaps up. We're going to bring our control levers back. Alright. Seems 5 is taken. So we're going to wait a second, because it says Ultimate Ground Crew is still loading data. Alright, I'm going to wait here and I'll bring you back as soon as Ultimate Ground Crew has loaded. My first time landing here, so maybe it's needing to load stuff. Okay, so we want marshalling at parking, and we want, let's say, 4. And there's our guy or woman. I don't know. We'll find out. By the way, turn off. back down. Alright, here comes the turn. We're following this line. I'm just going to take you as right. Right there. Where'd he go? Oh, I didn't want that. Too late. Alright, time to shut her down. Let's first power generator. Actually, we don't need that, but we will. Services, exits. And here's the bus.
Hi, thank you for a wonderful flight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have landed at Tivat. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the flight. I guess we can just go ahead and put her down. So a little bit smoother of a flight, not perfect, but make some mistakes, but I can live with that. We'll keep practicing, and I hope you enjoyed our flight to this airport, the Tivat. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Love to hear your take on where you'd like to see me fly, using what aircraft that's in my virtual hangar. And I look forward to seeing you in the virtual skies.